Right, Salakia. So this is gonna be a part two. The video I was doing on the sacrificing, I forgot I had power save mode on, so it turned off on me. So real quick, man. Yeah, man. You wanna make sure you're doing what you're doing in this thing, man. With the best of your ability. It says, holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of Amashiach, that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain. Yea, and if I be offered upon the sacrifice and service of your faith, I joy, Salakia, I joy and rejoice with you all, man. So, hey, man, you gotta trust in Yahweh Shai. But again, this thing is about sacrificing, man. This thing is about forsaking things that you have in the world for Yahweh Shai, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of dudes, real quick, I just wanted to put this out there, but you got a lot of dudes, that used to be in this truth, and now they back in the world because they wanted to do, they woman had a problem with it, with them going out Saturdays and them studying and not being able to pay attention to their woman, or they want to be a family man and all that shit. No, man, that's not what this thing's about. But again, the scripture says, for many I've called, a few I've chosen. So yeah, of course, you have dudes that'll get into this thing, learn, have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and eventually the Most High take the spirit from them and cast their asses back into the world. You know what I'm saying? And more likely it'd be reasons for their woman and shit like that. Hey, when you watch that movie, John Wick, you had that Russian dude, and he was telling a story about John Wick. He called him a Baba Yaga in the Russian language, which means boogeyman. And he said he left from doing his job because of his woman. He said he left because of his woman, of course. But you got dudes that get in this thing that leave because of their damn women. So, hey, man, you got to be willing to make that sacrifice. You got to count all things of this world as nothing. The scripture says, use the world, not abuse it. But you have dudes that abuse the world and they overdo it and shit like that. And those are dudes that the Lord isn't dealing with, man. When you walk in this truth, you got to walk with wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we got to deal with the things of the world. We have to work in order to pay our bills and shit like that. Yeah, you got brothers who probably play basketball, football, things like that. But that's things we do, because there's so much on brothers' minds, man. Brothers are waiting for the destruction of America. So we're waiting for these prophecies to happen on a larger scale. There's a lot of things that brothers are waiting for. So, in order to do that, we have to wait patiently, which when you go into the word patient, it means to suffer, So hey, that's a part of sacrificing, man, is to sacrifice the things that you have in the world to fulfill the wishes of Yahweh Shai. I wanted to grab this real quick too, man. This is Philippians, the 3rd chapter, the 7th verse. Yeah, it says, but what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for a Mashiach. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency, Salakia. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of a Mashiach Yahushua, my Lord. So, hey, man, you got to sacrifice everything for this knowledge, for this understanding. Because as you can see, man, the majority of the people that's here in America and all over the world actually doesn't have an understanding on how to live correctly. And the scripture says, what did it say when we brought it up earlier? It says, for by this word, ye shall live. Matter of fact, if I could come across it again, it was right. It says, Philippians 2 and 16, holding forth the word of life, right? So this is the word of life, which the majority of these people do not understand, man. Because in order to live correctly, you have to follow the law, statutes, commandments with the best of your ability. And when I say people in the world, I'm mostly talking about you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the chosen people of Yahweh Shai. But again, there's a chosen within the chosen, which is the 1/3. And the 1/3, they are the remnant that's going to come back. They're going to return into the Lord and follow after him with the best of their ability on this side. And in the kingdom, they're going to follow the Lord perfectly, man. And you're going to come out of so like the 2/3 are going to come out of the loins of the elect, man. So back to this. It says, yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahushua Mashiach, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win a Mashiach Yahushua. So again, man, you have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to get that shit up, to forsaking it. Matter of fact, what is that, man? In the book of Matthews. Right, this is Matthew's 19 and 29. Matter of fact, I'll start, let me see here. Yeah, I'm just starting at 29. It says, and every one that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or fathers or mothers or wife or children or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So there you go right there, man. You know, you're going to receive 100-fold. Hey, go back to the time of Job. You know, Job lost everything. You know, and the Most High gave him more on top of what he lost. He gained, he lost everything, and the Most High gave him more than what he had. That's what I try to say, Salakia. So, hey, man, you got to be willing to make that sacrifice as well while you're in this truth. You got to be willing to lose everything, right? But at the end of the day, your mindset, this type of spirit you should have is to know that the Lord will bless you with more than what you had. But yeah, man, I want to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushua, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushua, Bahashim Rukakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS. Salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. I like to say Muwahla Babel, which is depth of Babylon. And Lord willing, this was edifying to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. I like to say Shalom.